was that?
Man, they just done quit.
I hate seeing teams do that. We'll talk about that and much more as Old Snowman's on the road this morning. I'll explain it all. Let's go.
I had that. Quit going around in my damn truck. I had that.
Push the button, man.
I did.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Let's do this. Good morning. Welcome to the twisted, tripped out, terrific Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. We are glad to have you all with us. This first hour, of course, is powered by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Snowman here with the dog and Bicola. How we doing, gentlemen?
Couldn't be no worse than the Chicago Bulls, I'll tell you that much.
Man, okay.
I was about to say, Joe Boo, I think the bartender going to need a refill after that game because, whoo.
Listen, I love my Chicago Bulls, okay?
I do too.
I've been a Bulls fan since 1983. All right? I've been a Bulls fan pre-Jordan era and post-Jordan era, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I also cover the Golden State Warriors. I've loved them since 2005, even earlier with the Run TMC days.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the Spurs because y'all know I'm old school. George Gervin, Artis Gilmore. Those are the three teams I covered. But last night, I was tempted to do the Bulls game.
Glad you didn't.
And then I saw part of the first quarter.
I sent the text because one of our favorite YouTubers, the Chiseled Adonis, he did kind of like a alternate play-by-play or reaction to the game. Mm-hmm. And I watched that and I saw at halftime Miami 71, Chicago 47.
And that's when you sent the text to me.
I saw that in the group chat and I was like, this cannot be good. I checked out the halftime score and I was like, damn.
What happened? I sat here for 2 weeks.
Yep.
giving glowing praise to the Chicago Bulls.
The Chicago Bulls.
For their first mollywopping of the Lakers and then pulling one out in the later seconds, right?
I mean, we both sat here and gave the Bulls praise for 2 weeks. They secured the 9th seed, which means they had the home court advantage. Sick Diggy and Blake Homick with us was or Hammock. I think it's Hammock. Blake, tell me if it's Hammock or Homick. I want to make sure I read that correctly.
It's Hammock. That's a name. That's Droid's friend.
Huh? Oh, okay. Okay.
It's the great fat Tino.
Yeah.
Okay.
Patty Mahomes. All
right.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize the name at first, but welcome all. Welcome to all in the Fanatics feedback zone. I'm sick of talking about the Bulls. They got mollywop last night.
I got to go in on this.
You know what? Let's do this.
I got this right here. I already know where we're going.
All right, push it.
Pushed.
Bulls, you got to tell me something.
I may need you, just a moment. I may need you to push it again because I didn't introduce it correctly.
The nuts?
Because...
Man, who's screwing around in my truck again?
I don't know, but whoever's screwing around in the truck...
You're fired!
That too. It's the not so random musings today of...
Thank you,
now
Jens.
cook.
All yours. Now
Chicago Bulls, you got to tell me something. You got to tell me something. For 2 whole weeks, we sat here and gave you glowing praise for how you guys were able to handle a powerhouse team like the Lakers. Because as much as we want to sit there and we clown on the Lakers with their losses, they're still a powerhouse team. They're a playoff team, and we know that to be true.
Yep.
You had a chance to get in the play-in round. You were showing that you could actually win against some of the better teams. And then you go in, then you're hosting Miami.
A team you've beaten 3 out of 4 times during the season.
You are at home against Miami, and you do this? You wet the bed this hard? But you didn't have your pull-ups today? Did you put you back to Pampers? I don't understand. You looked like G League level rookies.
G League rookies, dear Lord.
Ouch.
At halftime, it was 71-47. Now, granted, in the third quarter, you guys came back and put a little bit more of a fight. But golly, you can't climb out of the hole you guys dug yourself in. When people are telling you need to plug in the controller, turn the controller on, that's when you know it's bad. I gotta look at some stats because what I saw just looking at the scores.
You don't need the stats. Just look at the final score.
I got the stats in front of me.
Go for it, fellas.
Go. Who was their top scorer for the Bulls?
Josh Gidley, 25 with 10 and 4 in 40 minutes.
So for the Bulls, he's it was Gidley. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Giddy with 25, 10 and 4.
Yep.
White had 17 and 2. You have 1, 2, 3 other players with 0 points.
Ouch.
You only have
off the bench.
4. You only have 4 players in double digits. That's just in points, and that's in 30 plus minutes. Giddy played 40 minutes with 25. White had 42 minutes. Everyone else 32, 35. And again, you only come away with 10 points. This
was stupid.
That was bad.
This was a forfeit.
Yep, the other team gets 2 points, walks off with a win, moves on to the next round.
This was a forfeit. It seems like you guys just knew that you weren't along for the tournament, for the playoffs. So you just said, let's not even go. That's not even giving it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. If I'm a person who lives on Madison next to the United Center, I'm putting a clothespin over my nose because y'all stunk. You guys stunk that joint up so
badly.
Well, I could always make it a lot worse looking over the team stats right about now and tell them where they really screwed up.
Go ahead.
You can't win a game when you have the other team shooting almost 50% from the field, 37% from three.
Yep.
Out rebounded you by 6.
Mm-hmm.
Had double your assists. Mm-hmm. Had one more steal, 2 less turnovers, and 56 points in the paint.
Oh, and here's the other thing I want to point out for Victor before he closes up shop. This is the second straight year that Miami has beaten the Bulls in a play-in game. The last time the Bulls won a play-in game was 2023 when they went to Toronto, beat them, and then Miami clowned them again.
2023, that's 2 years now. They skunked up the UC so bad, even Skunks were like, damn.
They skunked up the UC. They skunked up the UC so bad. The garbage trucks went around that joint.
Yep. Even the flies won't go near it now.
Man, they stunk up the UC so bad they're smelling it all the way out in the Forum.
Y'all played like capital BOOTY.
Booty.
Oh.
Push the button. There you go. There you go.
Disgusting.
I'll wrap this up for you, Vic.
One more thing before.
Go ahead.
Y'all quit, and that is the most disgusting thing. I talk about players who quit before a game. The team, most of the team quit.
You know, and it's so sad to see that from a team I have loved since 1983.
Yes.
All right. I was there with the Bulls when they beat the powerful Philadelphia 76ers at Chicago Stadium, and there were at least 16,000 people there. I heard the call on the radio. And who was doing that? Mr. Jim Durham. Didn't know he'd become my favorite announcer at the time, but I'll tell that story later.
All right.
But y'all quit.
Y'all quit.
Period.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should keep a couple of players that actually want to be there, but the whole damn team needs a reevaluation.
Yep.
The whole damn team.
If I'm the owner or the GM, I'm calling every single one of them players in the office, and I'm putting all their contracts on the table. And I'm saying right now, if you guys don't want to sit there and put in the effort, especially after what we saw, I will shred your contracts right here. And y'all can walk out.
Because that performance last night was disgusting.
Disgusting, disgraceful.
Absolutely disgusting, disgraceful, and you dismounted and missed the landing by a mile.
When Stephen A's reverberations, I would have made them fly commercial.
You know, I'll borrow from the sports pope himself, Mike Francesa. Before they even clear out their lockers, I lock the doors and make them commit to next year before they even go in. All of that needs to happen. And these are the random musings of
Thank you, Arku. Thank you, Arku.
Yep, Arku.
Embarrassing with a capital EMB.
Embarrassing.
You know what Chicago really needs to do with that game?
Delete!
What's that?
Delete!
No, they don't get to delete that. They don't get to delete that at all.
They do not get the pleasure of deleting that.
I would burn it to a DVD or put it to a Blu-ray, and I would send it to all of them and make them watch it every single week. Not every day. Every week, you guys watch until we start next season. You watch that every single week, so you see the embarrassment that you put on your last game. Is it the last game, or do they have one more?
No, that's it. They got knocked out.
They're out.
So your last game of the season, and you do that.
That's horrible.
No, I'm making them watch it every week, so you can see what every Chicago fan had to watch, what they were subjected to.
Hey, no lies there. Absolutely pathetic. All right, we're up against the break. When we come back, I may have to pull the heartbeat out.
You've got to be shitting me.
I wish I was.
Oh no!
After what I saw this morning. After what I sent to y'all last night, coupled with what I saw, go to a break.
Go to break.
We're back in a deuce.
Yep.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff.
Live from
Anyway,
Columbus,
welcome back to
Indiana.
the show.
Snowman here with you. Victor Locke is in Chicago. The dog is out east, and we are bringing this to y'all.
I had to close my window. The stench of the United Center is still wafting over here, and I'm on way in Pulaski.
I understand that. Blake is with us from the Grilled Sportscast. Arku is with us. We got to have him on to call out a few things. Underrated Darkness joining us from the east, and so is Ryan McCoffey. He says, "Good morning, Snow Crew. The Stanley Cup playoffs are set. The most wonderful time of the sporting year starts on Sunday, which means old Snowman may have a doubleheader with two sports because the Warriors don't play until 9:30, which means old Snowman's going to stick an early hot playoff game. I'm going to do some hockey. I promised y'all I would. The time just never connected, but now with the chance for me getting out and getting to some games and doing some games, I feel wonderful. I do, man. I'm flying high right now.
I'm looking at some of the stuff that was sent to me by old Snowman here. And I got to quote one of my very good friends, Mr. Derek Williams.
Yeah.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Exactly. All right. Before we continue on, let me shout out a very, very dear friend, Sean Aronson, who was celebrating 2,000 broadcasts with the St. Paul Saints. Wow. He and I had a chance to chat last night. I told him what was going on. He said that he's going to lend a hand and spread the word about the GoFundMe. We'll put the link up in a little bit. But Sean, thank you, buddy. Thank you and the rest of the broadcasters I know in the American Association, a league I have covered for a very long time, at least 10 years. And y'all have been great. You have been great, my friend. The comment you sent me last night, the message you sent me last night about that you love my content, man. I am proud of you, Sean. I mean it. I am so proud of you, and thank you, and I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Also to Danny Vaughn, same thing. Same thing. I gotta tell y'all this story before we go on. I was living in LaPorte, and I got a message at the last minute from the now late Tommy Williams, who was a very dear friend. He said, "Can you cover me doing PA for the Railcats?" I said, "Huh?" No, because that's Tommy's domain.
No, right? I know.
You were there. You've been with me.
I've been with you to a Railcats game.
You've been with me. You and Derek, and I think Victor, you were in the booth with me one time.
Yes,
I think you were in the booth with me. So you know that's Tommy's domain. God bless you, Tommy Williams. I miss you. So I said, "Huh?" He said, "I double booked myself, and I need someone to cover the Railcats game, and I trust you." That's all I needed to hear. I got in my car, which was a 91 Toyota Corolla at the time. Me and my legs were not happy with me whenever I drove. Anyhow, drove to Gary and put on a show. Did all the announcements the way I was supposed to, the way they cued me and everything. And I did a PA for a Railcats game. And that day I was taking videos and pictures of everybody. And at the time, my buddy Danny Vaughn was the voice of the Railcats. And I want to send him a shout too. All right. I got to send my buddy Danny Vaughn a shout too while we're on the air this morning, because Danny's been there for me and with me, just like Sean and some of the other broadcasters I've met in my 10 years of covering the Railcats, through everything. And it makes me cry sometimes about all the support that my wife and I have as I continue to remain cancer-free and get my health back in order and back in shape. And Danny's been there. Matter of fact, I caught a video of Danny preparing for that broadcast, only for him to inform me that the night before he told folks that I was going to be the PA voice. and surprised me and surprised everybody. But Danny, I love you, brother, and thank you for the assist as well in spreading my GoFundMe link. I appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. I love you, brother, and thank you. I had to send that shout to Danny. All right. Enough talk. Push a button.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Damn it.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
Wrong button. Wrong button. I think this is the one, unfortunately, we're looking for.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Oh, hell.
Oh, man. Sean just sent me another sweet message. He says, "This gave me all the feels. You are a true inspiration and an amazing representative of the broadcast community." I love you, Sean. Thank you. Sean Aronson, voice of the St. Paul Saints. All right, let me get to this. I want to try to make it as short as possible. Jesse White said something in GOAT NBA Talk, a group I'm unfortunately in. Yes, I know it's Thursday, but I'm getting this one off my chest.
We've had 3 straight days of this. It don't matter what day.
I know.
Let's just hope Playmaker doesn't message me again.
He better not. Because I'll playfully roast him next. Jesse White said LeBron would average 50 points per game in the 80s.
Yeah. What?
I said, Jesse White said, quote, LeBron would average 50 points per game in the 80s. Close quote.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Listen, we now have a selection from the Wonder Bread Tabernacle Choir. Thank you, Ryan McCarthy, for that. And this selection is called Stop Smoking Them Lines.
I got a garbage truck out front here that and the Bulls' performance last night belongs in.
Yep. 50 points per game in the 80s, right? A young Dennis Rodman, Abdul Jabbar, Moses Malone, Magic Johnson, George Gervin, Julius Erving, Larry Joe Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, and I'm just saying the Hall of Famers.
Yep.
We're not going to talk about the garbage man that did the dirty work in the post like Kurt Rambis, like Kelly Tripucka, like Bill Laimbeer, James Edwards, Tom Chambers. And I always will contend that Tom Chambers is a fundamentally better power, small forward than LeBron James is.
LeBron would have got 50 in the 80s. That's a bunch of
yeah.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
That's bullshit. I don't have the sound with sound with me, but to my buddy BGS, that's some bullshit.
Now, okay.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
I had to go downstairs to get a package.
Okay.
So I didn't hear anything that was set up until now.
Oh, some clown said LeBron would have averaged 50 in the 80s.
Really?
I'm not kidding. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not.
LeBron would average 50 against the likes of Karl Malone,
Dennis
Rodman, Charles Barkley.
What?
What?
We go David Robinson.
What?
Patrick Ewing.
What?
Isaiah Thomas.
What?
Larry Bird. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Even Craig Elo would have dominated LeBron.
Charles Oakley.
James Worthy.
Scottie Pippen.
Horace Grant.
Bill Cartwright.
Sean
Bill
Bradley.
Laimbeer. Sean Bradley. Let's see. Where do we go from? Oh yeah, I know. Richard Dumas. Patrick Sabalos.
Kurt Rambis. Sean Kemp.
Gary Payton.
Jerry Stackhouse.
Kiki Vandaway.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Robert Horry.
Clyde Drexler.
Jerome Kersey.
Wait.
Kevin Duckworth.
Vlade Divac.
AC Green. All of those names that we just said.
And Alonzo Mourning.
Alonzo Mourning. Larry Johnson.
Grandmama.
Before we go all the way down this rabbit hole, I'm going to make this short and sweet. LeBron would average no points in the 80s. Why? Because of something we like to call defense, which LeBron plays none of.
Exactly.
He just said it. Muggsy would be picking his pocket every chance he got.
Every chance.
Muggsy, Kevin Johnson, Craig Elo, as we mentioned, Mark Price.
Stockton.
John Stockton, especially the all-time leader in steals and a Hall of Famer.
I'm gonna pull a Snowman.
Yes.
Matthew Lawrence. I'm calling out names.
Oh boy.
Go for it.
So I look at this little nuggets called put Prime MJ in today's game and he'd be an average player, talentless. Mid-range is dead. He can't shoot threes. He can't dribble in left hand. He can't quick guard PG or SG. He can't guard tall guard. He can't score efficiently on zone defenses. He says the following: 100% true, 100% fact, and 100% no lies detected. In today's NBA, more talented players and highly skilled players. Every team today has all-stars and superstars. Back in the 80s and 90s, there were only a few good players you could count on and mention. How many did we just mention, Snowman?
At least 50.
Good. Yeah.
At least 50.
Not all teams had all-stars or superstars. Most players are plumbers, low-skilled in dribbles, not good shooters, mid and 3 points.
Not good time. Hall, D6, hold the phone, penalty flag on the field. Not good shooters. Not good shooters. Really? You want to say that to Charles Oakley?
I guess we forgot Charles Oakley, Larry Bird, and Reggie Miller all existed.
You want to...
John Stockton.
Not a good shooter. Really? Really?
Tony Kukoc. Steve Kerr.
Who is a dominant coach, by the way. But not a good coach according to many. You stupid fool.
And he goes even further. Slow footwork, offensive and defensive skills are not good enough. Easy to be defended by defenders. You can steal their ball very easily.
Okay, when Michael came into the league, he did not have a jump shot. What did he work on?
His jump
shot.
By 1987, when he averaged 37.1 points per game, what did he use?
Jump shot.
When he won the Defensive Player of the Year award in 1988, which wasn't even his best year statistically.
Mm-hmm.
How did he attack zone defenses?
With a jump shot. Mainly the fadeaway.
With the fadeaway. How did his partner Scottie Pippen attack zone defenses?
Same thing.
Same thing. Exactly. Mix in John Paxson, mix in Horace Grant and Bill Cartwright down low, and you got a championship team, you idiot.
I just can't believe he said that.
Just because, let me read Ryan's comment here, and thank you, Ryan, for this. Just because basketball players are more athletically gifted today doesn't mean they would drop 40 plus a night in the 80s and 90s. LeBron would average, look at me carefully, 0 points. Matter of fact, give me this goddamn camera. LeBron would average Z and row points per game in the 80s. Why? Because he does not know how to play defense, period.
It also doesn't help when the players of the 80s and 90s were some of the best trash talkers in the league, and LeBron would get his ass roasted on an open fire.
Yeah, he would have been roasted mentally before he even went on the court physically.
Delonte West, hello.
Let's see, Dennis Rodman chirping in his ear, Larry Bird chirping in his ear,
Michael
Bill
Jordan.
Lambier.
He would have been he would have been bullied by Rodman.
Listen, Bill Lambier
put his ass in the parking lot.
Agreed. And y'all know how I feel about Bill Lambier. As much as I used to razz on him in the 80s, he was a hell of a player.
Isaiah Thomas would put him in the parking lot.
Oh, yes.
And you know what Bill Lambier had that LeBron doesn't have consistently? Tell me, gentlemen.
Jump shot.
Jump shot.
Period. One of the first big men I ever saw that took 3-pointers and made them consistently. And I got another name for who's this idiot again?
Matthew Lawrence.
Okay, for Matthew Lawrence and Jesse White, I have another name for you of a power forward who can shoot the basketball, dribble, had great footwork, and can post up. You ready for this name? One of my favorite big men of all time, Jack Sikma.
Jack Sikma.
Yep.
Tom Chambers.
Thank you, Victor. Tom Chambers.
Here's another one. This is from Lowen Castillo. 3-point percentage as a rookie. In third, Jordan with 17.3. At second, LeBron, 29%. And guess who's number one?
Oh, dear.
Bronny with 30%. They're taking 3-point percentage in 1 year, which is their rookie year. And they're trying to make the hierarchy that Bronny is better than both Michael and his dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, this school has just opened.
So I realized that I think, even though it's not advertised,
right,
there has to be a place for stupid people. We don't know because we're not stupid, so we don't know anything about it. It's like a secret club society.
Oh my gosh.
So I come to the conclusion that he graduated from SU, stupid university. Yeah, and all the stupid ass letters that go along with graduating high honors of being stupid. I can't do no more, man.
Vámonos, dominos, vámonos. Stupid university, where everyone graduates magna cum stupid.
Up with this. Listen, you idiots. Michael Jordan is one of the greatest players of all time. Period. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is one of the greatest players of all time. Period. Fact. Julius Erving is one of the greatest of all time. Fact. And Shane, you'll love me for this. Larry Joe Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish are 3 of the greatest players of all time. Fact. Scottie Pippen, who I love very dearly as a small forward, and James Worthy, same sentence.
Yep.
Are 2 of the greatest of all time. LeBron, and y'all are going to laugh at me for this, and I want everybody here that's in this area to hear me well. When it comes to LeBron James, he's not even ranked top 250.
Jeez.
Well, when it comes to that,
you're screwed. Yeah, you're totally screwed.
You may need to push it again when I say this. Everybody's saying LeBron is the greatest player of all time. According to whom? the Bronzexuals, of course.
You're screwed. Yeah, you're totally screwed.
Let me go another way. LeBron's not even top 500 in my opinion. And I've seen, and to the people that say, oh, you haven't seen that many players, I've watched the NBA for 40 years.
I think we've seen that many players.
I've seen players that come off the bench and do better than Bronny does in 40 minutes.
By the way, Ryan, that's in 27 games for Bronny this season.
Enough of this. Get out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
Oh, yeah.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window.
Hold up.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Dear Bronzexuals, you.
Ah, here we go again.
Dear Bronzexuals that can't get LeBron's out of your mouth with the running down your face. You. Dear networks that have put them on and shoved them down our throats and up our asses for 22 years. You, and I repeat, you.
Oh, shit.
And to the Bronzexuals that won't leave him alone and actually want a relationship with him, I'm sorry to tell you he's happily married and he has children. So get off of his joystick, will you please?
So bleep you too.
And you too.
I got nothing.
Matter of fact, all y'all. Bitch. Now get the hell out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window. Wow, purple and
out.
False start.
Time out. He called time out.
Okay.
First charge, time out.
And to Adam Silver, the biggest of a commissioner that I've seen in 40 years. You, and a whole lot of you for allowing LeBron James to ruin the NBA and allowing Bronzexuals to penetrate the NBA fan base with their stupidity. You, and you. Now get the hell out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
in a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronzexual Confessions.
I joined this group just because I want to laugh. So I joined this group. I'm going to look at more of this stuff.
It's a rabbit hole.
I know. Oh, I can tell. I can tell it's a rabbit hole.
It's a. I will tell you two things. It's a rabbit hole, and I'm deep in that bitch.
It's a rabbit hole with a complete lack of common sense.
Yep.
Dude. We'll take a trip inside the garage with a little college football discussion. We haven't opened the garage in a while, so we're going to do that. We're going to open the garage, have a college football discussion, and then at the top of the hour, it's a token female takeover. Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code Snowman for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family. So the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals, chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
This portion of Snowman in the Morning is brought to you by SeatGeek. With SeatGeek, you can use its power to select your seats for the next event that you go to. And also, if you use the code Snowman, you get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan. And I am so proud to do this, and I'm going to do it again at the top of the hour because I was in such a rabbit hole with the Ron sexual confession that I didn't do it at the bottom of this hour. We owe you an ID. Let's pause for station identification. This is Snowman in the Morning on Snowman Multimedia.
This is WJKS, Indianapolis, Chicago, and the world. This is WSMM-DB, Indianapolis, Louisville, Cincinnati. This is WBWS-DB, Chicago.
Thanks to all our fans that are tuning in across all 3 of our stations. We got a couple more in the works. All right. We got to go inside the garage and talk a little college football, the effect of the NIL, and, of course, Nico Iamaleava. Good Lord. Let's go in the garage.
Start your engines, gents.
All right. I don't like where college football's headed.
No, it's getting ridiculous at this point.
I don't like where college football is headed because Like I said, I've said it many times before. Shane, you've heard me say it. Victor, I know you've heard me say it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old and I'm old school. When you're at a school, you play there for 4 years. You
I agree.
practice, you work your ass off. Did they need the NIL back in the day? In some cases, yes. But with the way the NIL is, there is, wait for it, no regulation of it.
Right.
Nope, there isn't, and there needs to be.
And then you allow stupid people like Nico Iamaleava to walk away from Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
which is where he should have stayed.
Yep.
Just because he wants higher than $1 million. Let me ask you something, Nico Iamaleava. I love watching you play, but are you really worth more than $1 million?
I mean, before long, these players are going to start asking for NFL contracts in college.
And I agree
already there yet.
And I agree with what Wes said yesterday. $1 million, that's kind of a bloated
number.
That's a bloated number.
It's a bloated number.
400,000 or 500,000, I can believe. Now, if you're Caitlin Clark, you're going to command $1 million just on your play alone. All right.
And I mean, that's the thing is, there are some players that are worth that financial risk, and then there are other players that truly aren't.
Imagine what Michael Jordan would have commanded in his 3 years at North Carolina.
Oh God. Oh boy.
Imagine what James Worthy would have commanded in his 4 years at North Carolina. Imagine what Larry Joe Bird would have commanded, especially taking Indiana State to the national championship game in 1979.
Magic Johnson, anybody as well?
Here's my point.
Patrick Ewing.
Oh God, Patrick Ewing.
David Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna start naming these names again.
Listen. What? Listen. My point is this. They played at their school of their choice for multiple years.
Yes.
What happened to that?
The bright lights and the fast money of the pros.
It's the green scene, man. That's all it is. It's a green scene.
Because people will say, like, you don't have a lot of shelf life. If you come in, if you're 18, you're quote unquote in your prime.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Now, do you want to waste? This is their words. Do you want to waste 3-4 years in college when you could be going right to the pros right then and there?
Yep.
Or at least, or what should I waste 4 years instead of just doing maybe 1 or 2 years and then electing yourself eligible for draft so you can get the most out of your investment.
There's an athlete right now in college sports that will somewhat command a big price, but after what happened at the end of March, wonder if he's worth it. His name is Cooper Flagg. I'm willing to bet he's going to be voted Player of the Year.
Right.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Matter of fact, Shane, you're in the garage. Look that up on the office computer, will you please?
Yeah, give me a second.
I think Cooper Flagg was named Naismith Player of the Year. And I know Juju Watkins on the women's side was voted Naismith Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
My point is this. In the form of a question, where's the loyalty?
Yes, by the way, it is legit National Player of the Year, Cooper Flagg, including the AP, Naismith, and Wooden Award.
Yeah, he swept the awards. A freshman.
Yep. He also won the Oscar Robinson and Wayman Tisdale.
That's a sweep. He swept the awards. Anyway, we're bringing up college basketball players and some from the old school, what they would have commanded if the NIL was available, but the NIL is available now, and it's
ridiculous.
May I get raw here?
Like we haven't already?
It's fucking college football up.
It is.
It's messing college football up.
I mean,
there's no loyalty anymore. The coaches don't know who the hell they're going to have when the season starts. True or false?
The NIL has screwed college sports in general up.
You know, the next sport is headed to baseball.
It wouldn't surprise me any. I mean, the only reason the NIL even became a damn thing and people started questioning it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we want to go back to some of the early NIL deals, look at Olivia Dunn. Look at the contract she ended up getting for
Olivia
LSU.
Dunn. Yeah, as a gymnast.
As a gymnast, she ends up raking in like $2.5 million off an NIL deal.
But also take consideration of like all of the attention that she garners, not just as a
right.
gymnast.
But I mean that's what started really pushing things was the deal she ended up getting.
Right.
And now it's spiraled into, well, look at some of the players for college football starting to get these big deals. Look at the college basketball scene. It has gotten to be ridiculous.
And I hate it. As much as I love covering college football, I hate it.
Well, the big problem is that before this started, a lot of these students weren't really getting anything. They were getting no money whatsoever, and it led them to do things that they probably wouldn't do beforehand. I always talk about what happened with a bad sport where Headache and I think it was ASU were shaving points.
Yep.
Because they need the money. It wasn't that they were part of it was greedy, but most of it was like they had no money for basic food.
The NIL is good for students. Okay. Mm-hmm. You need the coaches and the administrators of each school and the NCAA to regulate it.
Yes.
Because go ahead.
I just went down the rabbit hole of the NIL deals.
Oh, geez. What'd you find?
Well, I found the top 20 with the highest NIL valuations.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on the top of the list, Arch Manning, $6.5 million value.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Cooper Flagg, second, 4.8.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Third, Carson Beck at 4.3.
I can see that.
Jeremiah Smith, sophomore for the Ohio State, sitting at $4 million. AJ DeBanstana, 3.6. He is a senior currently at Utah Prep, but played for BYU.
Oh boy.
DJ Lagway, 3.8 million. Lenoris Sellers, 3.7. Garrett Newsomeyer, 3.6. Cade Klubnik, 3.3. Drew Aller, 3.2. Primarily football players.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You only had two that were sitting as college basketball. And this is pretty much a list outside of it's looking like 3 players that's all sitting with college football.
I'll throw a bonus question. Where's the love for the women's sports?
That's a great question.
Where's the love like that for
doesn't exist?
Lauren
they want to pony up money.
Where's the love like that for Lauren Betts, Paige Beckers, Mylasia Fulwiley?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It don't exist.
Haley Van Liff. Where's the love for them? You showed it to Caitlin Clark last year.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as Caitlin Clark graduated, and congrats to her, it faded into nothing.
Yep.
Can you look up real quick what Paige Beckers would be worth or is worth? We'll close it right there as Shane figures that out. And as soon as we get the number, we'll close up the garage because we got a takeover coming.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the love? And I will stand on this mountain until they chop it down with the side of their hand and take me with it.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the love for women's sports in terms of coverage, in terms of NIL deals, in terms of investment.
To answer the question,
talk to me.
To answer the question, Sportskeeda estimates her net worth with the lucrative name, image, and likeness deal at $1.5 million.
That's it.
Again, in relation to everything, 4th overall in the top 10 paid college athletes, Livy Dunn is sitting at 4.5.
Yikes.
That pisses me off.
And again, you're looking at people in the top 10: Arch Manning, Cooper Flagg, Carson Beck. Basically, even the lowest two, Mark Sears and RJ Davis, sitting at just under 2.5, well, just under 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1.5 for Paige Beckers.
That's bullshit. I'm glad Caitlin Clark did what she did in securing a 4-year deal with State Farm as she graduated. There's the key. As she graduated.
Yeah, she's got the 4-year deal with them. She's got the shoe deals. She's got everything right now.
She's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
she locked up for a while.
She's locked up. She's locked up for a while.
That's called business.
Ryan McCaffrey, who is her better half, he's doing good also.
Yep.
As an assistant coach at Butler.
Ryan McCaffrey. Why does that last name sound familiar?
Because we have a McCaffrey in the Fanatics feedback zone.
That's a McCoffee.
McCaffrey. My brain is fried. But and it's from smelling all the vapor in the garage as I burn everybody.
Yep.
I thought I put a new ventilation system in.
I will stand on this mountain until I go 6 feet under. How come the women don't get the same kind of love as the men do? I will stand on that mountain with that question. And if there is a fool that believes he can change that course, then damn it, as God is my witness, I am that fool. Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care anymore. But y'all need to show women the same love you show men, because you have some great women's basketball players to start with. And I'm starting with basketball. You got some great volleyball players that could use a little more coverage. I'm going to fix that.
Volleyball, tennis. You can even go with tennis, softball, baseball.
I mean, when you think about the fact that that women's basketball alone gets a lot more coverage than gymnastics, but the top earning woman is a gymnast. Where's the problem here? It's like what the hell? I think we better close up the garage before the vapors lock your brain up.
Yep.
Close up. Let's close up shop.
Dunsky.
There's a special lady joining us, and she will tell you, I will stand on the mountain till I die of women's sports getting more coverage than they have been getting. Now, it's gotten a little bit better, but I pose, but riddle me this. How come ESPN had to take control of it? And on top of that, I'll couple it with another question. Since ESPN has taken control of the women's college basketball tournament, how many have truly tuned in?
That's a great question.
Say out loud, because I paid attention to the last 2 tournaments. I can say out loud, their coverage has not been good. And to the NCAA, go back to the 4 regional system like you did for the men. Will you please? Go back to the 4 regional systems and put the 4 regions in big cities like, let me think, Chicago. You know how much fun that would be?
That'd be fun.
NCAA, I dare you to put a women's regional in the United Center.
I dare you. I double dare you.
You know, I think we might have somebody who might agree with you on that one.
Let's take a break. We have to do an ID. We got to take a short break. When we come back,
halftime.
It's the Token Female Takeover, and it's presented by SeatGeek. Back in a minute.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And then Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
2 very special women in my life are here. One is waiting to come on the air, and the other just walked by me, and I got a kiss out of it. So I'm hopping around, and Shane, you just get that kiss from you get that kiss from your person, and your brain goes foggy. You're jumping up and down like a 10-year-old, and you're like, okay, where would you exactly, Victor? Exactly. Duh. That's me. That's me. Every time Jody happens by when I'm broadcasting. Oh my gosh. Allie suggested some time ago that I get my own station. Allie, I got 3 of them, and it gives me pride to say this. We owe you an ID. Let's pause for station identification. This is Snowman in the Morning.
This is WJKS, Indianapolis, Chicago, and the world. This is WSMM-DB, Indianapolis, Louisville, Cincinnati. This is WBWS-DB, Chicago.
All right, you got the button ready?
Uh-huh.
Time for a takeover now. There she is. She's back.
Hi, guys. So great to see you again.
Great
Boy,
to see you.
how do you live up to any introduction that's that inflated? I ask you. I'm just a humble gal doing what I love the most, and you're giving me the opportunity to do it. So, Brian, you over swooning there over your wife, Jody, your lovely wife. It's, yeah, I feel the same way with when my boyfriend Greg does the same thing. So, yeah, I get you. I get you. When you have the right people in your life, that's what happens. So,
I mean, if it's doing a play-by-play.
Jody
walked on. And I'm going, all right. Time for the takeover. Allie, the floor is yours.
Yeah, okay. Listen, first of all, yes to going into the United Center for the regionals, for the NCAA finals. I don't care. I just looked on Facebook, and they are advertising right now the Sky versus the Indiana Fever, which is going to be there. You know, they're advertising the suites, and they're starting, get this, $573 per person, not per suite, not per, group. You're talking $573 per person. And that's where it starts. Now they get a lot of nice parting gifts. They get unlimited food and drink. Okay, great. But doesn't that indicate just a little bit how incredible this is and what moment in history we're living in right now? I mean, look at this. Paige Beckers had bought an equity stake in Unrivaled. That tells you what kind of money we're dealing with here.
And that also tells you that Unrivaled now has a face.
Yes, absolutely. And I am so glad about that. I mean, I'm certain that Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, they were the founders of the Unrivaled League, and by golly, they deserve to be the face of that league. They're not so bad looking. I mean, come on. But there's Paige Beckers, and Paige Beckers is, by all stretches of anybody's imagination, a hottie. So, but she's like a goddess, kind of like Cameron Brink. And I figured out why Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA. And part of it is because she looks like the girl next door. And in fact, she is the girl next door. You can relate to her. You could see her looking in front of a mirror every day and saying, "Oh my God, there's a zit." You can just see it. And that's who she is. And there's goddesses in the WNBA. That's wonderful, but the ones that really hit home for you are the ones that you can actually relate to, like Courtney Vandersloot, for an example, who's coming back to the Sky this year and is going to be a general and is going to be fantastic as a role model for the new ones this year that just got set up for the draft. I think that it's going to be a fabulous season for things like that. I mean, Goddess Haley Van Lith, the TCU guard, who's coming to the Sky. She's going to need a lot of help. And she is going to be a real impact player, I think, right away. I think that she and Angel Reese are going to be dynamite together. It's going to be a great season for the Sky.
I think it'll help Reese get a step.
Yeah.
If she had people get here.
Yeah.
And tell her to work her game.
Yeah.
And speaking of, here comes my duty. What do you mean?
What?
Come here.
Take it back. She's taking back.
Come here,
Come here, sweetie.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, Jody. Come here. You're gonna. Aw. Hi, Jody. Good to see you. How are ya? That's a good woman.
I'm out like now.
Okay. Focus, Bri. Focus. Like I've told you before. Focus. We got work to do now. A thought about the draft, first of all. I'm going to quote a New York Liberty fan who said, "This season in the W is going to be hotter than fish grease."
That's hot.
That was amazing. That's mic'd up.
We went out to dinner last night. Greg had fish, and it was hot, and so he did it just fine. But yes, we got to talk about the draft on two levels. Okay, the first thing is the draft averaged 1.25 million viewers on ESPN. And that's the second most watched in league history. And only last year's class drew more eyes. But that, of course, was because of Caitlin Clark. That was the reason for 2.4 million. So lost about 50%. That said, there were only goddesses in this draft, and so I get it. I kind of get it. There was great anticipation around Caitlin Clark from the very beginning, and so if you disagree with me, Brian, feel welcome to chirp in. But my thought is that there should be at least 2 million viewers for every WNBA draft.
I agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. And outside of Paige Beckers, who was pretty much the lock, you knew that she was going to go to the Dallas Wings.
Yep.
And the thing is that she is going to be such a franchise playmaker and facilitator. And that's what the Dallas Wings have needed. Erica, as much as I love Erica, she didn't have the right people around her, and they changed the entire face of the franchise. I mean, look you got Paige at number 1. You got Isaiah James at number 12. You got Madison Scott at number 14. At number 27. We're getting way low, right? Getting low. JJ Quinterly. And finally, number 31, Aaronette Vonleh. You gotta say that they got everything that they wanted. They got versatility, they got depth, they got playmaking, they got scoring, and they got defense. You got to be happy with Dallas and all of the haul they got this year. It was amazing. They've also got Kurt Miller as their new GM and a new head coach in Chris Kaklanis. I think that this is going to be a banner season for the Wings. I hate to say that as a Chicago Sky fan, but they hit the mother load on this draft. Let's be honest. They got every single thing they needed, which I was happy about. Now, let's go on. Let's talk about the Seattle Storm, who picked second. They got Dominique Malonga. Okay. The Victor Wembanyama of, look at that. Okay. They lost Jewel Lloyd to a trade after how long? 10 years? I mean, she was, and she was the face of that franchise. Now she's with the Las Vegas Aces. And let's talk about Dominique Malonga. She is 19 years old. She is 6'6", and she is an investment for the Seattle Storm, both in the present and the future. Now, she's going to have some help because she's going to need help. The European League, as I've observed, is much slower than the U.S. League. The U.S. League is starting to look a hell of a lot like early Showtime in the NBA. You know, you've got that aggressive play. You've got these incredible moves, and they are. And so, what she's going to bring, at least for now, is her height, 6'6", that wingspan of hers. I tell you, and I remind everybody that Michael Jordan is 6'6". Think about that. Okay, that wingspan's going to be huge. And she is, everybody, let's say Malonga, she's a lock for making the roster. You know, in training camp, literally anything can happen. And Noelle Quinn had a great quote about her. Her ability to do multiple things on a basketball court, guard multiple positions, whether it is the 5, whether it's the 4, and her versatility will lend to a successful career in our league. And I think that Noelle Quinn is absolutely right. She's also got some good people around her. She's got Katie Lou Samuelson at forward, and who's also doing her second stint in Seattle. They also have Erica Wheeler and the point guard who's going to enhance that. You've got Lee Yuru, who's 6'7" and a center, and Nika Moole. But the problem is that Jordan Horston and Nika Moole may be terminated. They may be out for the season due to injury. However, you know, there's still plenty of room to do a lot more with the Seattle Storm. I'm expecting an impact. Let's put it that way. With who they have. We'll see. We'll see about it. Washington Mystics got Sonia Citron from Notre Dame.
I love that pick.
You do.
I love
that pick.
For Washington, because retirement of Elena Deladon, Sonia Citron gives him a face, gives him point guard ability, and if she needs to put the ball in the bucket, you can. Carolina State, hello.
Yes, well, good points, all of them. She defends multiple positions. She knocks down open shots on the perimeter. So, yeah, she can be a real impact player right away. And God knows the Washington Mystics needed it. So big time. With they also got with the next pick, they got Kiki Arafin. So you gotta love Kiki, man, from USC. I think that she and Sonia will be able to play really well together. She's a good athlete. She's got a smooth face-up game, and she has a lot of defensive versatility, which is something that the Mystics have needed for a while. So now the one thing where Kiki needs her help is she needs to expand the range on her jumper. That's the one area. Can you think of anything else, Brian?
With Kiki Arafin, Ioka the Word, make great drum. Basketball, basic play, pick and roll. That's what I see with those two. But you're right about Erica. They need scored on and not 3-point shot. Bring back the mid-range, 15 to 18 feet. If she can pop that, a la Bill Bears used to do the Bulls, then we're good. They're good. There could be a dynamite. I feel it.
Love it. Let's move on to the Golden State Valkyries. Picking at number 5. There were a lot of drop jaws in the room when they picked Justa. How do you pronounce her last name? I don't know. You know? Jossett? Maybe?
I think it's
Jossett. Close enough. Until we to the agents of Justa Jocelyn. If we mispronounced your name, I'm sorry. But anyway, she's only 19, and that's one of the things that I saw with this youth movement. They're 19 years old. They come out of Europe, the European play. It happens. Justa is Lithuanian, and she's a guard. She's got a ton of international experience, and we'll see. She's a developmental pick to my mind. They're looking to the future. Now, I was very glad to see that she'll be a they're really looking to this lady as a just a developmental pick, really, and not making an impact. We'll see what happens, because this is a new league. This is a new person, and this is a very new team. So we'll see what happens. What's your idea?
I don't think she's ready to crack the starting lineup. She's got to get reps in a U.S.
Yeah,
the U.S. team faster than the European League. I've watched the European League, and it's really slow to a fault.
Yeah,
with the league in the U.S., you got to be ready to play.
Exactly, and that's hard. I will say that I felt better about their second pick, Cheyenne Sellers. I was very happy to see that they picked Cheyenne, because Cheyenne's going to be a very, very good impact player right at the beginning. And I was surprised that Golden State wouldn't have picked her over Justa. I just can't understand why they would do that. But mine is not to say. Basketball minds apparently know better. But I've been around this league for a really long time, and I'm not saying that I know best. However, I learned my lesson with Jerry Krause early on. I covered the draft in which Tony Kukoc was drafted 1,000 years ago, and it was, and I remember being in the room where it happened, where Jerry Krause said, we are drafting Tony Kukoc, and mine was not the only one. Turned out to be an incredible player and a real impact for the Bulls. And so I just really feel like they probably, the basketball minds who pick these European players have a certain idea in mind when they discuss this kind of an impact. So we'll see. Now let's move on quickly to the Washington Mystics. Georgia Amoore. Okay, Georgia. I'm picking her as the new Spud Webb of the WNBA. 5'6", but boy, she's like a little fly that can move real fast around the court. She's a guard. They have questions, but as long as nobody can catch her defensively, I think she's going to be a real asset to the Mystics. I will say the Mystics and the Connecticut Sun are both teams to watch big time this year. So no offense to the Dallas Wings, but their game is going to be upped, both the Mystics and the Sun. The Sun, after all, had to replace its starting five, essentially. But boy, moving swiftly into the Connecticut Sun, Anissa Morrow, their pick at 7, Sanaya Rivers, NC State at number 8, and number 25 was Rhea Marshall. Okay. They've got 2 impact players in Anissa Morrow and Sanaya Rivers. We talked about Sanaya last week because I interviewed her back when she was a freshman at South Carolina. She did a little hopping, not near as much as Haley Van Lith, but she hopped from South Carolina, where I interviewed her, to NC State, where she made a very definitive impact. And one of the reasons why she was so good with NC State was she's so versatile. Number one, she can defend. She's a two-way player, which is not always the issue. And she's going to work really well with Anissa Morrow, because Morrow has a relentlessness and a motor that simply can't be taught. There is no way that she's not going to mow down people on the way, and if you've got a nice defender in Sanaya, I can see them working really well together. And I could see that, they, first of all, one organization called Morrow a walking double-double. She's so powerful. She's got strength, and she's also proven herself at every stage of her career, which I think is so important. Now, we have another eyebrow raise at number 9 with the Los Angeles Sparks, and that was Sarah Ashley Barker out of Alabama. Now, did you consider it an eyebrow raise?
Actually,
no.
And here's why.
Okay.
They're getting the main contact Cameron Brink. Barker came behind her.
That's
how I'm.
Okay.
So I can learn the team, learn different skills at the speed of the WNBA, and just process them all and take it to the court. So she's going to learn a little bit behind
the rank the rest of the roster. But when she's in, she'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I'm good with that. The thing was too that they waited. The Los Angeles Sparks waited until she finished her career. They were ready to take her last year, but she wanted to stay at Alabama for another year. I'm going, Alabama, Los Angeles? Would that be? But I think she has a very deep sense of loyalty. 23 years old, she probably wanted to see Alabama do better. And Alabama is not known as being an NCAA selection for a lot of the time. So, but she could get them there, and and they did actually get to a second round tournament appearance. So that's better than any other Alabama team that I can recall in history. She is an all-around threat. She's averaged 18.2 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 3.9 assists per game. What it was, though, her real standout performance in the NCAA tournament that got the attention of the WNBA. And so I think that just gave them the impetus that they needed to say, okay, yeah, she's our pick.
It is. But it's going to be a little bit of a progress.
Yes.
It's going to be progress also for Cameron Brink. Because she's back from a major a la Texas.
That's true. Yes. You are cutting out a little, Brian. I'm not
there's an echo on your end.
We got
it's only on my end.
Yeah.
It's my lousy Google Pixel phone. Okay. But
tell you what. Let's take a break. Work on it.
You're fine now, actually.
Oh, I'm fine now.
You're fine now. Yeah.
It's in and out. I hear it with myself too.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
all right. Let's take a small break.
Brian, sing for us.
I'll do what I can.
Okay.
Allie will fix her phone. We'll fix my audio on the road. Back in a few minutes.
Okay.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code Snowman for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals, chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back and in our 30th year of action. With live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service, we got it all. And when you sign up today and use the code Snowman, you will get a 125% deposit match on your deposit. Log on to BETUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Attention sports fans, looking for the ultimate gear and apparel to show your team pride? Look no further than Fanatics, the #1 destination for sports enthusiasts. Visit snowmanmultimediasports.com today and shop a wide selection of officially licensed merchandise from your favorite teams and players. From jerseys to hats to accessories to collectibles, Fanatics has it all. Don't miss out on the chance to elevate your game day experience. Head over to snowmanmultimediasports.com/fanatics and gear up like a true fan with Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
It's no secret. Today's consumer wants convenience and likes things on the go. They want to be listened to and receive instant solutions to their queries. This can often make or break the customer service experience. That's why it makes convenient interactions easy for you. Whether your customers want to connect with you via text, Facebook Messenger, Google, Instagram, or website, all messages now come to the one easy-to-use inbox, so you don't have to check a dozen different sites from the platform. From here, you can send SMS or email, answer questions, schedule appointments, take payments, and close more deals simply by messaging back and forth with your customers. When someone searches for a business like yours, they will look at your reviews. So unless you have more positive reviews, they'll choose someone else. Luck makes it easy to collect hundreds or even thousands of reviews from your customers. Simply send a review invitation or create automation that requests customer reviews right after the sale, or maybe right after a service is completed. It will take them 30 seconds or less to leave the review. Now those reviews will show up on the search result and increase your ranking that matters most. Plus, our advanced reporting will show you exactly where your leads are coming from and if your website or ads are doing their job. So why are you waiting? Put your business way in front of your competitors, get more leads, convert more of those leads to paying customers by getting started with today.
Mister? how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff.
Thank you, my dear.
Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Basically met her a few minutes ago. She's gone back to work. Allie is back with us.
Yes. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you great.
I can hear you well. So perfect.
Reboot is what we needed. And before we continue on, Allie's going to lump me for doing this again. We owe you an ID. Let's pause for station identification. This is Snowman in the morning.
This is Indianapolis, Chicago.
All right. Down the stretch we come on this Thursday edition of Snowman in the morning. I am live in Columbus, Indiana, because I have softball a little bit later on that you all will see on the channel. I'll be in the booth as the Columbus East Olympians take on the Greenfield Central Cougars. First pitch time is 6 o'clock Eastern time. I'll be up at 5:45 with the pregame show and an interview with the head coach. All right, Allie, floor is yours.
All right. Hey, go Cougars, man. I will always say go Cougars. Anyway, at number 10, we had my hometown, Chicago Sky. And, and I'm reporting to you from Lisle, Illinois, my home and my new home, actually. I moved here about 2 months ago and loving it. Okay. At 10, the Chicago Sky picked just this person who made the jaw drop. Aisha Sigvka from Slovenia.
Yeah.
Now, I was at the draft. The Chicago Sky very sweetly invited us to be there, and I always love being in the room where it happens. And there was a party for the goers, the season ticket holders downstairs. So a bunch of people went down and they told me that the reaction was like that. Why do this? Okay. So Sivka is 6'3". She's a forward. She's only 19 years old. She's capable of stretching the floor because she has an elite size. She can score in a variety of ways, and she's an efficient shot maker. And when I asked Jeff Paglioccia, their GM, about this pick, I said, "Are you thinking of her as long-term down the road? Are you thinking that she can be a franchise player?" And he said, "That's the goal. She possesses everything that is needed to become that franchise player." He did admit that she is more of a developmental pick, and he's counting on Coach Tyler Marsh and his staff to help her improve to become, and I quote, "much more than just a shooter." So Jeff said that the Sky had some very good discussions with her leading up to the draft, but he noted that there are going to be ongoing conversations about her coming from Slovenia to the WNBA, and he hopes that her arrival is, and I quote, "sooner rather than later." Okay, this pick is okay. My first reaction was, meh. It was
mine also. Matter of fact, I can tell y'all, because I covered the first round that night. I saw that pick and my brain went, "What the hell?"
Yeah. I think what they're thinking of is bringing in a European player will help in the skill development area. And, Europe is a fundamentals league, and they do, and I think that she can be some help in that area. And she's also got a maturity that belies her 19 years on this earth. And I don't say that about too many people, but I had a crazy idea, and that's she's from Slovenia. Let's invite Melania Trump to come down and motivate the troops. What do you say?
Oh dear.
The First Lady of the United States at Wintrust Arena. What do you think?
That's not going to go over well.
That's not going to happen.
No.
Let's be honest.
That's a no deal.
But it would still be a very nice idea. And, President Trump actually did lead the way by showing up at, what was it, the Super Bowl? And, so it can be done.
Super Bowl, Daytona 500. He's going to be in Indy for the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah. So let's do an invite. What could it hurt?
I might be going to the Indianapolis 500 because
you're going.
I might be. I'm just an hour away from it. I know.
Cool. That's great. Watch for those little vixens in the inner on the inner. I forget what it's called. Oval.
Yeah. Well, just stay out of the pit parties.
Look, I don't care. I will be far away from the pit parties.
Just avoid turn 3 all week. Just avoid the infield and turn 3 all weekend.
I went to a race once when I was first living down in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. 22 years old, and I'm learning about pit parties in North Carolina.
Oh, those are some fun. That's some fun right there.
As I said before, oh boy.
Pretty much.
When you were young and single, right?
Yep, I was 22 years old.
That's the time to have fun.
Listen, I thought I would have to stumble out of that pit. And the bad part is they had another race the following month, and they invited me back. Don't tempt me.
Resist temptation, Brian.
What was really funny was when I worked the Greensboro Coliseum in 1995 in the midst of the ACC tournament, and we were told by our boss not to eat in the club, in the backcourt club where I was working. I was working as a janitor. Look, man. When these people get drinks in them while cheering for their team, they talk all kinds of mess.
Yes.
I was cleaning the bathroom, and a guy comes in, big time North Carolina State fan, and Joe Smith was the big name for NC State at the time. They're playing Wake Forest, and he comes in, he puts his arm around my shoulder, and he says, "Tell me the truth. Do we really have a chance against Wake Forest?" I said, "Do you really want the truth about this?" "Yes. I trust you and I trust your word. You look like a guy that knows basketball." I've been watching basketball a while. And my answer is no. And he says, Randolph Childress? Yep. And a young fella named Tim Duncan. He slipped me $200.
Nice.
The championship day on Sunday, I met part of the ESPN crew, including Mike Patrick.
Nice.
And I was doing it again. We knew it was the last day. We knew it was the last day in the Coliseum. These people were drunk out of their minds.
Well, yeah.
And the game was played in the afternoon. It was nowhere near nightfall, and these people were drunk out of their minds. And they were coming to me before the game. He said, "Who pulls it out, Wake Forest or North Carolina?" I went with Wake Forest. I raked in $1,000.
Nice.
They call Alabama the Crimson Tide. Call me Deacon Blue.
All right, let's go to the last team who picked, and let's go over their picks before we get out of here.
We talked about Haley Van Lith before, going at 11 to the sky. Best pick in the draft since Paige Beckers, in my view, because Now, as we said before, she is reunited with Angel Reese. Those two are going to cause hell on the court. I see that as such an explosive thing. The other thing is that she also HVL is such an iconoclast in terms of her talent, her, let's face it, she was on the Olympic bronze medal winning team for 3x3.
Yep.
And you never know exactly what she's going to do. She changed schools 3 times. She got the most out of her career that she possibly could in school. She managed to be on a few championship teams like LSU with Angel Reese. She is an incredible, she's an incredible point maker, which I love about her. She is, and she also provides a really good person to balance out Angel Reese.
Yeah.
Because, she needs a little balance in there. Plus, I think that she is going to benefit the most from the tutelage of Courtney Vandersloot. And she just has the right sensibility for this team. So I'm very pleased. Now, how much can the Sky improve on 13 and 27 from last year?
I remain to be seen.
The sky is the limit. Let's put it that way. Finally, a real quick note about number 12 pick, the Dallas Wings with Isaiah James. They were bookends, and Dallas Wings had the bookend draft out of NC State. She's a proven big game player, could be a great scorer off the bench. If she learns consistency, and she's got that ability, if she just looks at Paige Beckers, if she can, if her mind is open to learning, she's going to be great. So I look to Dallas for improving very considerably, the same way that Indiana improved last year with Caitlin Clark. It's going to be a fantastic year for the WNBA. If you don't have season tickets, get them, because it's going to be fantastic.
I can't wait for this season, because we're up against the end here. I can't wait for this season. Allie, we're going to tape a separate conversation. We're going to do it on the Plus, and we're going to go over the entire draft. But we got to get out of here. Allie, we love you. Thanks for being a weekly panelist. We love you and your advocacy for women's sports and ours here on the crew. We love you for that. Thank you, my dear. We
love you guys too. Love you, Brian. Love you, Jody. Have a great week.
You too. Had a bug out. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. We love you very much. I'll be back here in Columbus tomorrow. So long, everybody. Don't forget, softball, 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock first pitch. We're out of here.
James Harden, you